Got it.
I tried to.
Okay. Got it.
Wow, look at that. Let's put him right here, and it's like he's peeking up. Urgh.
I don't think you win that. You don't win getting to be on the set forever. Or whoa, that is scary. That was a. Maybe you should leave him there. The more I think about it.
I can't. If I bring him up too high, it kind of gives it
I think
away.
what you ought to do is this. Where you get him right here.
Burner.
He's on this side.
Burner. 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 What if a shark?
People have been getting attacked by sharks in North Carolina.
What if a shark fin had a
that?
human face on the side of it like that? That would be so scary.
It would be a little scarier than it already is.
Like the
But
shape.
not a whole lot.
The shape of his head is a shark fin.
I think you would just assume it was a guy swimming.
Do we have any tape? He's gonna be here permanently.
Nope, we're fresh out of tape.
Link, while you're trying to figure out that situation, I'm gonna ask you some other questions. How did you at home do on this this quizzical?
I got some paper towels over here.
It wasn't. There are certain things like the center of the Earth thing. That's a recent, I mean maybe the past decade, but like when we were in school, they talked about the liquid core of the Earth.
Yeah, that's why.
So that was like in science textbooks at some point. And then I think there's, you can't go to the center of the Earth, but they use different techniques for measuring it, the mass, and they're able to tell exactly what it is. So anyway, there's a
They use bat echolocation.
Yeah, they get a big bat that can see 3 times better than a human, send him to the center of the Earth, and he says, there's a marble here.
Yeah, that's the one that blind as a bat.
There probably are some bat species that can't see that well.
But we don't know about it, personally.
But the blind as a bat thing is just a misconception. How about this, Link? The Great Wall of China is visible from space.
I've heard this, and I've assumed that it's true. Because they always say there's only 2 man-made things you can see from space. One is the Great Wall of China, and the other one is a killer punchline that I haven't come up with yet.
We're great on this show at giving you the structure to make your own great jokes.
All right.
Somebody figure out that menopause and bitterness
Hey,
thing.
talk about Twitter. That's something we should do, right? So make this joke funny.
There are only 2 things you can see from space. The problem is that you actually can't see it from space.
Oh.
So that kind of ruins the thing.
No, but that's it. And then everyone starts writing their things, and it's like, joke's on you. You can't see the
You
Great
really
Wall
can't
from
see
space.
it.
That was the
Yeah.
joke.
The thing is that the Great Wall of China is only, I don't know, how wide is it? Anybody ever been to it? Walked on it?
It's not that wide though, right?
I mean, in the pictures it looks like it's like,
Are you guys taking vacation?
40
That's where you
feet
should
wide.
go.
To the wall.
It's probably different widths in different places, but if you think about
But
it.
it came down after the fall of,
That was Berlin.
just kidding. That was just.
Reagan brought down the Great Wall of China. But there's like a 40-foot long,
Not that funny.
40-foot wide wall that
Can't see that from
you can
space.
see my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would need to see something that's bigger, like a swimming pool. You could there's probably lots of things man-made things.
But
you
how did
can't
this
see.
happen? Like, what's the origin of that? How did this lie get planted as a seed of doubt?
I think it's that like with a telescope or something you can see it from space, but it's not like naked eye. You can't look out the window from your moon cabin and see it.
Yeah, those moon cabins.
Moon cabin.
I doubt you can see anything, any man-made structure. The more I think about it, if you were in your moon cabin, you look down, you just see like earth and water, and like some beaches maybe.
Can somebody please Google while we move on? What's the next one? What man-made structure can you see from space? Because I know there's one. There's got to be one.
Hoover Dam. The seasons change based on how close the Earth is to the sun.
Now first of all, I'm supposed to think that's true. It's just a question of whether it is or isn't. And I didn't even know to think if that was true or not. Did you find yourself thinking that was true?
This one's a little complicated. That's actually why we did not include it in the game, because it's not that straightforward. It's not that easy of an answer.
So it's false, but kind of true.
It is false because it's more based on the angle of the Earth's axis in relation to the sun.
Yeah.
Because it isn't
course.
like, obviously the orbit is elliptical, it's not circular, but it's also the Earth is like this and it's going around. I don't know, I don't have a model of the solar system handy. But during the summer, whatever part of the world, the hemisphere that's in the summer at that time, has the most direct sunlight shining on it for the longest period of time. That's why the days are longer during the summer. But it seems like it would also be related to, I think that the distance of the Earth from the sun has a lot less to do with how hot the Earth is, and it's more about how much of the energy from the sun gets into the atmosphere and stays. You know what I'm saying? That's more about the angle of things.
I'm looking into this here. First of all, Mental Floss makes a good point when they say 5 man-made things you can see from space, plus 1 you really can't. They say, first of all, where in space? Space is pretty big.
Yeah, because space could just be like...
From the moon, you could barely even make out the continents on the Earth.
Moon cavern.
Our whole planet looks nothing more than a dinky blue splot from Mars' surface. Still, astronauts traveling in low Earth orbit, and that is kind of what we're talking about, on board the International Space Station can see quite a bit using nothing but their naked eyes. They can see the Great Pyramids of Giza. Bridges, long bridges crossing over straits stick out like a sore thumb. However, identifying them can be a pain. Last year, astronaut Chris Hadfield caught a glimpse of what he thought was the Golden Gate, but may have really been a less glamorous Bay Area counterpart, but still a bridge.
Still a bridge.
Lonely desert roads. Yeah, because you've got...
No, that's just a novel. That's just my favorite novel.
That's one of the things they can see from space.
Lonely desert roads.
It's anything that's there's a contrast.
Like you've got this really straight line on like this like wavy, stratified, desert-looking thing. Cities at night, you can see lights. The greenhouses of Almeria.
What in the
A
world?
sprawling sea of plastic greenhouses covers over 64,000 acres in southeastern Spain. What? Tons of fruits and veggies.
64,000 acres of plastic greenhouses?
Yes. Look at them, all on that peninsula there.
We gotta go, man.
Kinda, sorta, not really visible, the Great Wall of China. Let's get a few things straight. Can you see, I'm just gonna read straight from Mental Floss here. Can you see this ancient marvel while walking on the moon, as many claim? No way. It's effectively out of sight also for the International Space Station's crew members. Another persistent rumor holds that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure that's visible from space. As we've seen, this is nonsense. The demonstrably false idea dates back to the late 1930s, long before manned space missions started taking off.
Before we even went up.
So it was conjecture.
I bet you can see the same from space, Barbara.
One vitally important question remains: where does space start anyway? That question doesn't remain. They're trying to get us to another Mental Floss article is what they're doing.
Oh yeah, well we didn't fall for it.
But I read it out loud and you're clicking somewhere.
Russia has more surface area than Pluto. You could wrap Russia around Pluto and have a little bit of Russia left
You'd have
over.
to like cut some of it off
Cut
and
some of
like
that Russia
throw it
off.
away. You'd throw it away, but you'd feel guilty about it.
Putin
It's
would
like,
be really mad.
Maybe there's something that like I could wrap.
Putin
this
would ride in shirtless on a horse and hit you with a machete if you did that.
I would just not do it out of guilt.
You would
'cause I'm
look
like,
cool while doing
if
it,
I
though.
keep this little part of Russia that I've snipped off, I can probably wrap it around something later.
And put Russian baths on
Maybe around the iron core of the earth when I get that out.
it. Oh,
I just wrap a little bit of Russia around it.
that is a great idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
We
that.
should start a GoFundMe campaign.
Right.
Or
Wrap.
at least a Kickstarter.
wrap
We want to
Plu-
wrap the extra part
wrap-
of Russia that didn't make it around Pluto,
Pluto
around the center of the earth.
That sounds like a not too veiled threat. That's like a political statement. So we don't want to do that. Statement.
That is a great
really
idea.
southern
And
on
Putin is on board. That's
So,
our slogan.
That is true.
Putin is on board. It is true.
Putin on board. Put that on the back of any car you're in too.
Putin on board. Wow.
So I was right about
That's
that
the
one?
best idea we've had in months.
Sadly, yes.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
True.
You're right, Link. I don't have any facts to support that, but you know,
Who cares?
it's a healthy thing. You know, eat one every day.
An apple a day. An eaten apple is the most unsatisfying experience a human can have.
I can't tell you how often I want an apple, but having eaten one, I'm like, why did I want one?
Right.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. It's like
when was the last time you ate an apple and you're like, man, that was a good apple?
You get you eat the
Doesn't happen.
crunchy part. It's all crunchy, but you eat the outside part.
What kind of apples you been eating? Well, it's crunchy on one side.
Mushy on the back. I eat the mushy apples. I mean, you're shaking your head, Eddie. What's the most?
I'm sure there's a lot of things.
You're about to make like a self-deprecating.
What's the best kind of apples? I had to buy apples for my wife the other day. She was like, get some red crisp apples.
They don't exist.
And I was like, I texted her back. It's like, is this a type of apple, or are you describing a general apple? And she didn't call me. She didn't text me back. I called her. I was like, is red crisp a type of apple? I'm looking all around the store for red crisp apples.
You're like blessing her out in that tone in the produce section.
I'm kind of sensationalizing a little bit. I was like, baby, there's red.
Hey, baby.
Is red crisp a type of apple?
I got a question for you.
Because I love the fact that you sent me to the store to get these things.
And I'm a little
all the information that I need.
And I'm a little frustrated with your lack of responsiveness.
I have a difficult time knowing where to go next, and I end up backtracking throughout the store because I'm a man and I have no ability to do this kind of thing.
Ooh, sexist.
And I'm also a sexist. But I love you. And I will go to the store anytime you want me to. That's how the conversation went.
So what kind of apples did you get? Did you get the manly?
I got
apples?
crispy red apples. Once I understood that that's what she was talking about, it was red apples that were crispy.
Right.
I got crispy red apples.
It didn't say it on the label. But if she asked for...
Was it apple taste?
There's something like a golden crisp or something like that. She just said, I want red ones. What she was saying was, I want red apples that aren't mushy. She doesn't like the apples that are milly.
Yeah.
Honey crisp.
Honey crisp, that's what it is.
So
Honeycrisp, they're not as good. I like a nice tart Granny Smith, but when she asks you for Granny Smith, don't be going around calling for Granny. It's an actual apple.
yeah. Well, no, I know all about the apples now, but
You have another
I'm still
question?
not satisfied by it.
You had the hybrid apples? The grapple and the papple?
There's a grapple.
It's a grape and an apple together?
Yeah, it's a grape apple and then there's a pear apple.
Well, the pear apple's a little bit expected.
Papple?
A grape
So
apple?
we should have these as an episode. Like
Yeah,
hybrid fruits, you have to guess what they are. We'll do that as an episode. Morgan likes it.
A polar bear's fur isn't white, it's transparent.
What?
A polar bear's fur isn't white, it's transparent.
I thought you were still commenting about the apples. I was like totally thrown. It's like, what are you talking
An
about?
apple's fur isn't white, it's transparent.
Every polar bear hunter knows that.
Yeah, this is like something. This is like a Discovery.
Polar bears are
time
clear.
you were watching Discovery Channel, you learn this. You know, every time you turn on Discovery Channel, somewhere in the world, this fact is being spit out.
Spackled. Now, when you get close enough to a polar bear, true or false, you can see their internal organs.
Yeah. When your eyeball is inside of their body because they just ate you, you can see their internal organs.
You can see the lining of the
the stomach,
esophagus
yeah.
and the stomach. And
Yes. All right. Have
an
fun shopping for
MRI.
apples.
I'd like to MRI a polar bear.
We can do that. It's easier than wrapping Russia around Pluto.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
slightly.
that much.
The equipment costs.
That's a better Kickstarter. We would like to MRI a polar bear. Putin is on board.